Yeah, people wanting to vote.
Unmanageable turnout of 65%.
That's the Lib Dem votes being chucked in the river. Goodbye to you. Go and watch a film, one of your husbands. Hello, Gordon. Piss off. Did you stay up for Lembit? It was. It's the most important thing that happened in the election.
Because?
It's quite funny.
I was expecting a bit more than that, didn't you? Ladies and gentlemen, the great thing about losing my seat is I can actually take a fee for this now instead of getting this kind of abuse for nothing.
It is indeed the overwhelmingly indecisive outcome of the election. In fact, we only know one result for sure, don't we, Lembit?
Can we get on with this? I've actually got an appointment with the job centre in about half an hour.
They phoned earlier, they cancelled.
So, Paul, Ian, the old certainties are gone. It's time for unlikely alliances. Paul, could you ever find it in your heart to put your bitter rivalry to one side and form a coalition with Ian?
Yeah, all right.
Go on, then.
I've got a feeling you're going to win this week.
Can I say I've always wanted this?
Yeah.
I've argued for it for years. And any suggestion that I'm doing it as a matter of convenience is not true. I agree with Nick. Paul.
Do you want to do a rabble-rousing speech on behalf of our coalition?
I think what we offer is not them, basically. People are sick of you coming on here, making fun of the contestants, you know? Just because I'm having a bit of a hard time at the moment, lend us the price of a cup of tea, I'll give it back to you. I've got me nothing, governor, I've got me harmonica, and can play that for you if you want. And I have. No, I have.
Got to find some change.
I have.
Are we witnessing a mental breakdown?
You do the singing and I'll do the playing.
Ritual is so... I mean, what are the benefits of joining this club? I mean, what do you get? 10% off sports equipment? I mean, what's the great club that you have to stick your cock in a dead pig's mouth to become a member?
Ian, you used to be a member, didn't you?
There's a hesitation.
No, I wasn't a member. It says I was a member on Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Yeah, which is quite embarrassing, given I spent half the week with tabloid journalists ringing me up saying, have you
placed your chap?
Clarkson in a
Yeah.
receptacle. Anyway, no, I was not a member of the Piers Gaveston Society. I was a member of the Piers Morgans.
I won't ask what the ritual was to get into that club.
Did you know people who were, though? Is that the sort of thing they did?
Yeah, no. I mean, they
Yes,
threw...
yes, no. Your final 2 words on the subject? Yes, no.
He asked me 2 questions. He said, did you know people who were there?
Yes.
And then he asked another question. So I said, yes, I did know people.
Yes.
No, I didn't, which is sort of my answer.
Yes.
I thought I was the one that was going to get a hard time tonight, and it turns out Ian is. Right, yes. This is...
Is that it? We're going to just leave it alone? Lord Ashcroft getting this amazing story into the public domain via the Daily Mail.
I don't think it's even a story. It's a fantasy.
It's an act of amazing revenge by the Mail in cohorts with Lord Ashcroft, which the whole country has decided to believe. Usually a story in the Daily Mail, peddled by a non-dom Tory peer who gave 8 million quid to the Tory party and is in a strop because he wasn't made Defence Secretary, would be laughed out of court. Well, it's not in court yet, but I was hoping it might get in. But no, we've all taken this seriously, and there's the grinning Lord Ashcroft, who, I mean, you know, if you want to talk about members inserted into, you know, the House of Lords, there he is. I mean, it's a disgraceful story. This man, Lord Ashcroft, who gave the Tories all this money, thought he could get himself into the cabinet, thought he could buy himself a cabinet post. And everybody's gone along with this, saying, oh, great, Lord Ashcroft. I mean, he's a non-dom. If we're doing prick jokes, let's have a condom joke. And if you want something disgusting the Prime Minister's done, I mean, you know, there's loads of it. Bedroom tax would be a good start. There's plenty of these things, and everyone goes around saying, oh, it's about a pig when he was 20. Well, how about being really appalling when he was 50?
What has David Cameron been saying about criminals? Conrad.
That in this great United Kingdom, those officially so designated may actually have broken the law. And that this is a departure from some transatlantic customs.
He didn't really make a decision that innocent people should not go to jail, did he, this week?
Does this require the truth, Alexander?
I know you're not used to that, Conrad.
Not used to hearing it, certainly.
Ah, really? What about from the jury?
9 acquittals, and they sort of ran out of steam. But the Supreme Court made up for it
No, you didn't run out of
unanimously.
steam. You ran into jail. They found you guilty, didn't they, Conrad, the jury?
9 acquittals, complemented by a unanimous vacation of the 4 guilty verdicts by the Supreme Court of the U.S.
Didn't they? One for fraud and one for obstruction of justice.
Ian, please.
Oh, stop reciting the verdict as though it was true.
A little respect for due process, Ian.
No,
You're a banana.
I do respect it. I am not a banana. All I'm saying is that you were found guilty of 2 counts, which stood, you went to jail, you've come back. You would like to be rehabilitated, if that was the word.
No, I have been rehabilitated, and I'm proud to have been cleared by the Supreme Court unanimously.
You weren't cleared.
And I've come here...
You've come here to say you're innocent, which is sweet, but not true.
I bet he would have been more of a gentleman.
Yes, but he would have...
It's a big secret, though, isn't it, your breast implant? Well, you certainly kept it quiet.
Yeah, I was straight on the phone to somebody with a greasy shirt in Wapping saying, please discuss my breasts with the nation.
And can you buy the rights of my book?
Yes.
I mean, it's terrible bloody media intrusion. Look, the camera's here, Paula.
Ian,
She wasn't invited on this show.
please stop being unkind. Don't be unkind.
He's professionally
Shall I
obliged
stop
to
being
be.
unkind?
Well, there's only one way to sort this out. If you want Ian to stop being unkind, phone 098...
I am a bit worried, because apparently your current beau sort of beats people up, doesn't he?
He sometimes gets a bit cross.
And if the photographers come in and they're from the wrong organisation and you haven't sold the pictures to them?
Well, we both punch them, yes.
You both. Well, there we go.
Fair enough.
2 black eyes next week.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with physical violence.
Who's going to have 2 black eyes next week?
You are.
You're not going jogging, are you? Has it got something to do with the fact that they all dye their hair?
Oh, well, that's... well, obviously, it's the World Cup.
I mean, the whole thing is incredibly corrupt. James Cleverly the other week said, the Foreign Secretary said that any gay football fans should be aware of the country that they're going to and should behave accordingly.
Yeah, Cleverly advised LGBTQ plus fans visiting Qatar to show a little bit of flex and compromise.
It's unbelievable. And it's all about money. And you've got mainline celebrities going over there for huge checks. You know, you've got people like Robbie going over there to sing, which I must say I'm very surprised at, given all the comments that Robbie Williams has made in the past about gay rights. The fact that he's going out there to sing for them is extraordinary. I don't know what's happened to people. And it's not just him, the Black Eyed Peas are going as well, aren't they? They're going out to perform.
I don't know either of these.
You know Robbie Williams.
Well, met him once.
Yeah, OK.
But you know David Beckham, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going, isn't he?
Yeah.
How much has he been paid?
I don't know.
You do know.
More than me.
Yeah.
Ian, is it coming home?
What, your reputation? The others have been very gentle with you, Gary, but I mean...
Thanks, Ian.
The elephant in the room is still there. I mean, you're commentating there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm commentating there.
And what's the defence? Football term.
We're commentating there. Well, you've got a choice, I think, haven't you?
What, going or not going?
Well, my view always has been that you either highlight the issues and challenges in these countries and speak about them, or you basically don't say anything, you stay back home and don't go. And I've always said we should challenge them.
There's another option. You stay at home and highlight the abuses. You don't have to go and take the Qataris' money. I'm not trying to be tiresome, but, I mean, it's just... It's not a very good defence.
And how is someone like Robbie or the Black Eyed Peas supposed to highlight it? Are they going to make a speech on the stage? Of course they're not.
You can highlight it.
What, during a match?
Well, highlight it during the commentary.
It's the kick-off here in this appalling country's human rights record, and honestly, I think, oh, someone's kicking a ball, but honestly, the amount of immigrant workers who've died, it's a shocker. Oh, it's a goal!
Nobody seems to be winning here except the corrupt funders.
There are a lot of MPs winning. The Qataris have spent more money on entertaining MPs in the last couple of months than ever before. I wonder why.
But, you know, sort of murderous nations, you know, putting up sort of sporting events to try and sort of, you know, clean up their image, like look at the 1936 Olympic Games held in Germany.
Yeah.
If that hadn't happened, we might have had a Second World War.
To be fair, England footballers...
Oh, we don't want to be fair, Gary. That's not going to help anyone.
Yes, this is the Tories' humiliating U-turn on the pasty tax, which will inevitably lead to the resignation of the Chancellor, the collapse of the coalition and the triumphant return of a resurgent Labour government under lovely Tony Blair. At least that's my spin on it. The Conservatives have performed another U-turn over plans to capture buzzards and destroy their nests. The problem was that buzzards were eating pheasants that were being specially bred for pheasant shoots. Here's an idea. If you're a Tory toff with a shotgun, why not forget about the pheasants and just shoot the buzzards? Or even simpler, just shoot each other.
There we go, incitement to murder. You heard it here first.
I thought you'd lost interest for a minute there.
Right, time now for Ian and Ross's question. The Leveson inquiry can come over as a bunch of boring media tossers talking about themselves, Ian. So I've decided to liven it up a bit with my own Leveson-ometer. So who is this, and what has he been banging on about?
Well, it's the return of Tony Blair.
Much missed.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
No, to be fair, was brilliant at Leveson. He didn't even flinch. He didn't blink at any point. You trained him well. When that guy jumped out and went, "You're a war criminal," he didn't even... He just went, "Yeah, whatever."
He didn't say yeah.
Well, no, in his soul he did.
Oh, I resent that
No,
suggestion he has a soul. God. But the idea that you can say that Osborne's full of shit and then defend Blair is unbelievable.
Sorry.
The worst thing is, I heard you use the word spin. You said, "That's my spin on it" just now, and Tony said, neither you nor anyone else who worked for him ever span.
No,
he said you and Lord Mandelson were terrifically good at presenting a positive case, but he resented the idea of spinning.
No, he talked about bullying, Ian. And
No.
Who's the bully today?
He's just being robust. That's all he's doing.
Well, Tony's testimony...
I watched him. God knows why.
You know what? I get the feeling that at any moment you two are going to kiss.
Tony's testimony was interrupted by a protester called David Lawley Wakelin. What did he accuse Tony of?
He said he was a war criminal. But he was a very British protester. He said, I'm terribly sorry, I've interrupted everything. I just wanted to say that you're a war criminal.
Everything went swimmingly until we noticed that he was wearing the vegan sandals. And
How dare you! How dare you!
Any serious protester, leave the vegans at home and wear proper shoes, because as soon as you see the sandals, you think, nutter.
That's a great... That's a great point. That's a great point, worthy of an extra point for Nick. Thank you. Ian, what was the most important part of Tony's brilliant testimony? You've already alluded to it.
It was the song and dance number I liked. They edited it from the Sky News coverage, but...
No. Not that bit?
It was the bit
The
where...
no spin in my time?
Yeah. He confirmed that I never bullied journalists.
Right. No, I think he confirmed that he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
He did the old Murdoch defence.
He said I never authorised Alistair Campbell or Peter Mandelson to brief against my colleagues. I hate that. It's the lowest form of politics.
Notice, I never authorised them. They did it off their own bat.
No, he didn't do that. But what else does Tony say happens when you stop being Prime Minister?
You make tons of money for doing nothing.
He actually said, when you're elected, you begin at your least capable and most popular, and you end at your least popular and most capable. Oh. Which is a lovely line, which I wrote.
There's a typo. It should say culpable.
That. But give Miliband the credit for stopping us doing the same thing with Syria.
OK,
because Cameron was about to get in to do it with the Americans.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that. No, Obama
You just don't work about it or talk about it. Anyway, that's the difference between us.
Yeah.
Should we start again?
But you say
I don't think so.
that the manifesto will only just come out, so the candidate can't be expected to know what's in it. Is the manifesto meant to be a massive surprise to Labour candidates?
No, but when you get... Well, in our party, you have to get it through the National Executive and we have a policy making for the manifesto. You don't know necessarily what's coming through. I think some great things have come through, particularly when we're dealing with the Leveson report and what are we going to do about making the press more accountable.
Yes,
That's quite important.
You're going to legislate, aren't you?
What we said about that, we will carry out what Leveson said. We wait to see the press...
Leveson said nothing about a royal charter. He didn't mention it.
I would have thought you, as a journalist, might find that's an important point.
No. No, as a journalist, it's an unimportant point.
God blimey, you blimey. In private eye, you're sued every day, for God's sake, for what you say about people.
No, we're not. And certainly not about you. I know you've got problems with the press and your private life, John.
I think the last time you raised it, you got the same move. Why don't you be more specific and say it? Usually straightforward in private eye. What's your complaint?
OK, you're very, very unhappy about the press's intrusion into your private life, because they revealed you were
never
having an affair
complained
with
about
Tracy
it at
Temple.
all.
And it was very embarrassing for you.
No, it wasn't.
God, it wasn't embarrassing.
No, I made a mistake. I owned up to it publicly, and I was waiting for this one to come from you.
You didn't own up to it publicly. You were revealed as doing it.
Hey,
I've got an idea.
I did it at the Labour conference. Didn't you watch that?
You two find a room, and whoever comes out alive is the winner.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
That's a death stare. He gave me a death stare. It depends who's ordering the room service, I suppose, doesn't it, John?
This is like a terrible family Christmas.
Now, that really is enough about the government's bad week. Oh, no, sorry. Andy Coulson. Where did he unexpectedly find himself this week?
In the back of a cop car heading to Scotland.
Because?
Because they want to have a word.
I had absolutely no idea that you were a gangster. Brilliant.
Andy Coulson.
He's been arrested for perjury.
Yes.
During a trial where someone else was on trial for perjury.
Yes.
While he was actually working for the Prime Minister, which is pretty shocking. You shocked, Alistair?
I'm shocked.
You. I'm glad you're shocked, because, you know, some of the people that this government have been hanging about with... Rebecca Brooks? Know her at all?
I do.
Were you shocked when she was
shocked.
arrested?
I've been shocked by lots of things, Ian.
He's been charged, though, not just arrested.
Yeah.
He's been charged.
He's been charged.
Which is why Ian's being so careful.
Yeah.
About Andy Coulson, if not about me.
Well, they haven't charged you yet.
Is it hot in here?
In case anyone thinks I'm being gratuitous, I know that Alistair is going to be reasonable tonight, because he told Leveson, I am robust, but I'm not a bully. So no matter what anyone says, you're going to be really reasonable.
Tonight? No.
That's good, though, to remember. Like, if your kid gets caught, like, kicking a fat kid, just go, no, he's not a bully, just robust. He's robust.
It probably seemed like a good idea when you said yes.
What bit did the BBC get wrong?
This idea... so I run a company that trains veterans to go into cyber employment.
Yeah.
And 4 companies away from that, there's a company that's gone bust.
Yeah, it's not many companies. It's quite a big company. 4 people being arrested. Big story.
It's a big story, but it's got
But
nothing to do with me.
you never...
Well, of course not.
Not
Why would I have
interested in
anything to
who
do with
provided your
financial products?
£85,000 salary?
Yes,
For a
and it was
4-hour
provided through business in that company that company generated. That
How
had
does
nothing to do
training
with
veterans
LCF.
make enough money to earn you 85
Because if you train them in cyber security, and they have specialist skills, they go into FTSE 100 companies and they earn quite a lot of money in cyber security. I sound like a right bastard, don't I, doing this whole sort of veterans employment thing?
No, it's not the veterans bit. It's the £85,000 for a 4-hour job.
I know. I know what you're thinking, because you're
I'm thinking, why don't you do it for free?
I know, because you get 20 grand for 2 hours tonight, don't you?
Yeah, but the people who've lost money out of this company are very cross with you. It's about your behaviour and the fact that you didn't know. And didn't ask, as a non-executive director, where does the money come from for this
I did
company?
ask where it came from, and it came from the business that's generated by the business that we do.
They were providing the money that kept your company going.
No, they
You
didn't.
were a non-exec.
No, they didn't. That's why the BBC are being sued for libel, because no money went from that company into Crucial Academy.
But it did, though.
OK, well, you can keep saying that, but it really didn't. It
No,
still
no,
didn't.
I'm just saying the chain...
This is one for Judge Rinder, I think.
Yeah. I am merely trying to establish the facts. You say you're going to sue the BBC for reporting a story that everybody else has run, and you say that's not how the money got there.
I am absolutely sure that not a single penny has come from LCF and gone into Crucial Academy. If it has, I would leave.
It hasn't gone directly in. It's gone into a series of other companies.
No, directly or indirectly. If it had, I would leave. Many more?
All right, well, we'll see what happens.
This is like all of my Christmas dinners with my family.
Remember Anne Widdecombe?
I'm sorry, David, it's a big story. 4 people were arrested, and I know you think that your political enemies have smeared you with this story, but
No,
it is there.
No, I don't.
It's in the news.
No, I don't think that. I don't think they have smeared me with this story.
But you have accused the Deputy Chief Whip of trying to dig up dirt.
The Deputy Chief Whip has decided to go and ask friends of mine that I served with in the military whether or not things in my book were correct, and... obviously, I found out, wasn't overly pleased. That book was signed off by the parents of individuals who were killed in that war and who fought with me and my soldiers, but obviously not good enough for the Deputy Chief Whip. And when I confronted him about it, he claimed that was his job, to kick the tyres. And when I spoke to my friend, who he had actually spoken to, he hadn't done anything like that at all. He'd tried to get some dirt and blackmail me to vote for the Prime Minister's deal in January.
That's why they did it, to try and force your vote?
Yeah.
Right.
Nice place, politics.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, why did I sign up?
Why did you?
Yeah.
Like Anne Widdecombe. Remember her?
wouldn't
Because
realise.
because didn't you send
You should know all about complaints here, shouldn't you?
But didn't you send photographers in to sneak
me.
up on this chap's wife while she was in a hospital or something, caring like that?
Yeah.
And you got ticked off for that.
Yeah.
And you probably had a go at Selina Scott's sex life.
Well,
and
we only said she'd enjoyed some smoked salmon down by a loch in Lomond. That was all.
A loch in Lomond? A loch in Lomond.
There was only one loch in Lomond.
I don't know what...
Can't remember what
it's called now. The Queen...
No, the answer to this is...
Has someone
Only one of
they all
them.
complained
Only one of
successful?
them was thrown out, which was Julia Carling. The rest of them were all...
So you lost 3 and Julia Carling...
Well, we didn't lose.
You beat Julia
We
Carling.
had 3 adjudications against us, which we tried to resist.
Sounds like 3-1 down to me.
Admittedly, we were left in a slightly vulnerable
you
position.
accepted the rulings, obviously, Piers.
Of course
didn't
we
you?
did, yeah.
As a paid-up member of the Press Complaints Commission, you said, fine, it's a fair cop.
Exactly. What are you getting at it?
No, just checking you hadn't been vindictive
No,
about
we
it
hadn't.
afterwards.
And in no way would I be vindictive
No.
unless it was Rupert Allison.
Oh. Well, he's the one that brought a case against you, and then you went sent...
No, he thinks we've got a vendetta against him.
Which you have.
The one that you
we got
sent
a
your photographers to the south of France to photograph him.
There's
That
no
Rupert
vendetta.
Allison, is that the one? Just because he took a court case against you.
We have a vendetta against his party. There's nothing wrong with that.
But you left him alone until he brought a case against you.
No, he's always bringing cases against it. He loves it.
Well, let's not fall out over this. Have we got the points? Have we got the
The
points?
truth is, Julia Carling is the only one who was unsuccessful in a Press Complaints Commission complaint against...
Because they
News of the World.
adjudicated that she'd invaded her own privacy.
They said that
By
unlike
going on
Earl
telly and
Spencer,
talking
for
about it.
instance, who has sold his family photos to Hello magazine repeatedly for lots of money, she had put herself into the public eye. It was deemed that Earl Spencer was entitled to privacy because, presumably, he's...
Well, his wife was entitled to receive treatment in hospital
I-
without being
I-
photographed
but,
having it. Probably
yeah.
was the ruling, the basis.
That was part of it, yeah. that was the part I'd concede.
But your proprietor agreed with the PCC, didn't he?
He did, yes.
You sort of got rather bollocked by Murdoch, didn't you?
Rather. I got severely bollocked, yeah.
Did you?
Were you
And then
sacked? If you're now...
Sacked, did you say?
Were you sacked?
It's a very serious thing to say on television.
Did you get sacked?
I didn't get sacked.
You
No, but I'm
promoted
glad
you.
you said it, because that's going to help pay for the holiday, thanks.
I can just imagine a jury finding for the editor of the News of the World.
It's almost like finding the editor of Private Eye, isn't it? By the way, Ian, you know where you live?
Yeah.
You're about to get a new neighbour.
You?
Happy New Year.
Well, actually, next door neighbours are you going to be?
He'll be within long lens, I can assure you.
Is that a photographer?
He's a charmer, isn't he?
So, Conrad, you have seen this show before. You know what it entails.
I think so, yes.
Well, I salute your balls.
I will give you the opportunity to do just that.
And who says prison doesn't work?
What's the other protest that's been going on peacefully?
Peacefully,
so far?
that's the protest outside St Paul's against the terrible world economy.
They may have to close
I
it
think
down.
they've already had to close the shop and the cafe.
Oh, OK.
What's happening to religion?
I know.
They were protesting against the stock exchange, but they couldn't camp outside there. And then St Paul said, all right, you can camp here.
Although it was quite amusing to see the longest queue ever for Starbucks in the history of the world in that square at a protest against capitalism.
Does anyone know what the London protesters are trying to achieve?
Well, the overthrow of the corrupt city system as they see it, one suspects, no?
They tweet about it regularly on their iPhones, perhaps in between getting cafe lattes, and housing themselves in some very fancy tents. But they are against capitalism, except for the lattes.
So if they buy coffee, their opinions are worthless.
I think if they prop up a corporate titan like Starbucks, they've got to ask themselves how much of capitalism they really don't like.
I don't think you can negate them because they have a cup of coffee. It's like saying to a condemned man on the way to the gallows when he's blubbing, you ate your last meal. What's the matter with you?
He said it was your last meal.
Either you can't be against capitalism and then take everything that it provides and say this is terrific.
Everything?
Thank you,
A
but
cup of
I hate the
coffee?
system that you're providing.
One cup of coffee and they can't...
Can't they be about... Sorry, I'm gonna... No. It's just so obvious I can't be bothered.
What are you going to say?
You don't have to want to return to a barter system in the Stone Age to complain about the way the financial crisis affected large numbers of people in the world, do you? Even if you're having a cup of coffee and you've got a tent.
No, I think if you...